What's up, ninjas? Welcome to Yoga with Dojo Cat. Not gonna lie to you, today's flow is gonna be hard. We're really going to focus on strengthening the core with some balance poses and the legs with a lot of warrior poses. I'm assuming that most of you are athletes since that's who I cater to. You guys are tough people. You know how to endure. So just make sure when you're in these really uncomfortable poses that you are breathing through it, knowing that you have the strength to get through this flow. Also, you might be tough, but if you absolutely need a break, you can of course take one, right? I'm not your boss. I'm just here to guide you through a flow, give you a good little workout, give your body a little movement, a little bit of love. So that's what we're doing today. I already taught this flow today, and it's a burner. So good luck to us both. Let's get into it. We're going to begin in an easy pose. If you like, you can also sit on your knees. I swear to God. She hears me talking to the camera and she just bursts in. She's like, oh, it's time for attention. Okay. Grounding your weight evenly between your sit bones, we're going to begin with 3 deep cleansing breaths. As you inhale, you're going to pull your shoulders up to your ears, and exhale, 1 big breath, dropping the shoulders. All right, if you like, you can close your eyes. All together, inhale, exhale. Inhale. One more. Beautiful. Keep your eyes closed. Take a moment to set an intention, whether that be finding the strength to endure this workout. But whatever it be, whatever your intention is, carry it through the rest of this flow, maybe the rest of the day. All right. Inhale, your hands to the sky. Exhale, bending over to the right. Option to stay right here, or if you'd like to get a little bit of shoulder mobility in, you're just going to draw some nice big circles with that left arm, going forwards and changing direction, going backwards. Beautiful. Inhale back to center and exhale to the left. And drawing those nice big circles on your right side. And changing direction, going the other way. Beautiful. Coming back to center. We're going to go into a 90-90 position here. So you can bring your right shin out in front of you. Totally okay if your heel is close to your groin. If you're flexible, try to get that leg a little straighter, but I encourage you not to push that joint farther than it has to go, right? So wherever you're comfortable, we want you to be a little uncomfortable, but if you're feeling any sharp pains, just pull that heel into your groin. Left leg is going to be at that nice 90-degree angle. Inhale, nice long spine. Just shifting here so I'm not out of frame. And exhale, fold forward onto your elbows. Your weight is going to try to shift over to that right hip. Try not to let it do that. Try to stay center. Beautiful. If you can come all the way down to your forehead, please do so. I'm just going to stay right here today. Oh goodness. Lift yourself back up, and we're gonna stand ourselves up onto our knees, pressing our hips out, and then just switch the legs. So the left shin is gonna come out in front. The right leg is gonna go at that 90-degree angle. Deep breath in, nice long spine. Exhale, hinging forward at the hips. Oh, my flexibility is a lot less good on this side. Oops, sorry, honey. So if you need to stay up on your palms, that's okay. Your flexibility is going to be different. Like my right side is my dominant side, my left side isn't, so it's just going to be different. Totally normal. You can lift back up and stand up on that knee, pressing that hip out. And then we're going to come into a tabletop position, stacking our knees under our hips, our wrists underneath our shoulders. And we'll go into our cat-cow. Those of you who have been doing my flows for a while know that I love this one. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your tailbone and your chin to the sky. Exhale, round the spine, tuck your chin to your chest. Press that mat away. Inhaling into cow. Exhaling, cat. And just move, using your breath as a guide. Go as slow as you need. There's no rush. And we'll do one more. And come into a neutral spine. Take that left foot and place it outside of that left hand, and then sink into that hip for our lizard pose. So if you have the flexibility, you can come all the way down onto your elbows or your forehead. I don't on this side, so I'm going to stay right here. And if you'd like a different variation, you can play with the angle of this hip a little bit by coming onto the blade of that foot and opening your hip out at a different angle. Try it. If you don't like it, you don't have to do it. From here, we're just going to tiptoe our foot into the center of our mat and then straighten the leg. Bring your fingertips to the mat. Keep your spine nice and long. Deep breath in and exhale, hinging forward, trying to touch your nose to your knee. Of course, if you need a little bend in the knee to protect that hamstring and the knee joint, please take it. And don't force anything. This is a really vulnerable position. We don't want to hurt ourselves. Bend that left leg, coming into a low lunge, lifting up that torso. Inhaling, hands to sky. Option to interlock your fingers, making yourself a little steeple. Really sink into this low lunge. You should be feeling a pretty good stretch on that right hip flexor. If your bum is sticking out, think about tucking that tailbone underneath. Take a nice deep inhale for me and exhale, bend towards that left side. And release, coming back to center. Plant your hands to the mat and just bring that foot behind you, coming back into our tabletop position. We'll do another round of cat-cow really quick. One more. Coming back to that neutral spine, stepping the right foot outside the right hand, sinking into your lizard pose. So play with your variations here as well. One side is going to be easier than the other. I wonder if I can come down on my elbow today. Oh. Beautiful. Tiptoe that right foot in between your hands. Straighten the right leg. Inhale, nice long spine. Exhale, hinging forward over top of that knee. Bend the knee, coming into a low lunge. Interlocking the fingers if you like. And take a nice deep breath in and exhale, bend over to the right. Release that pose and your fingertips. Bring your hands to the mat. Step back into that tabletop position. Bring your knees wide. Melt your hips down to your heels. Extend your hands out in front of you, coming into a child's pose. To keep it active, so you're going to lift your forearms off the mat. Spread your fingers nice and wide. If you like, you can get a little movement here, rocking side to side to intensify the stretch on one shoulder at a time. And find some stillness. All together, take a deep breath in through the nose, filling up the lungs and the belly, and exhale through the mouth. When you're ready, we're going to lift up, planting our hands, tucking our toes, lifting our hips to the sky for our first downward facing dog. Again, in this pose, since it's our first down dog of this flow, pedal your feet out if you need, or rock up onto your tiptoes. If you like, you can drop one hip at a time to the mat, just letting it hover above, just finding whatever feels good. I'm just gonna crawl up because I'm realizing I'm gonna run out of space. And we'll get going on this flow. Inhale the left leg to the sky. Exhale, bend the leg, and we're gonna draw some nice big circles going out, just lubricating that hip joint. And in, changing direction. Oh, that was my hip. And then bring those toes to match on the mat. Crawl your hands to your feet and meet in a forward fold. In this position, don't forget you're free to take a little bend in the knees. Get whatever movement you need. You can let your hands hang under your shoulders. Just make sure that your neck is nice and relaxed. This pose is great for the lower back if you have any tension in that area. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, gaze forward. Exhale back into that forward fold. And then really slowly, one vertebrae at a time, we're gonna roll up into a mountain. Oh, I'm just covered in cat hair, I'm so sorry. Roll your shoulders up and down away from your ears and meet me in a mountain pose. This is where it's gonna start to get tricky. Come to the top of your mat and we're going to move into chair pose. So before we do, if you struggle with your balance, the more space you have in between your feet, the easier the pose is gonna be. So choose your difficulty today. Inhale, your hands to the sky. Exhale, sink into chair pose. You should be able to lift your toes and wiggle them. Your weight is going to be in your heels. And you're going to think about tucking that tailbone underneath again. Option to keep your hands at heart center if having them up in the sky is too difficult. Maybe your shoulders are burning. Maybe it just came from kickboxing and your shoulders are already tired. Release your arms out to a T, parallel to the mat, and twist over to the left, taking your gaze to that left hand. Grounding into that left foot, pick up that right foot off the mat, flex the feet. And from here, we're gonna tip forward and slowly kick that leg behind you, the right leg, bringing the right fingertips to the mat for a revolved half moon. Squeeze your core, find something to focus on. Take your gaze up at that hand. Think about lifting that leg. Woo. Okay, try to keep that right foot off the mat, but we're going to transition from here, lifting back up. I just needed the wall for balance. Bring your knees to alignment, pointing the right toes, hands at heart center. Little kundalini tap here. And from here, we're transitioning right into warrior three. Tipping forward again, kicking that right leg behind you, extending the arms in front of you to help with balance. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tip back onto that right foot, pivoting it so it's parallel with the short part of your mat. Keep that bend in the front leg. And you're just gonna tip forward, bringing your palms behind you for a lightning warrior. Keep that core engaged. Keep the bend in the leg. I know it's burning right now. And release, bring your torso up, your arms parallel, warrior two. Try to find length from your fingertips on the right hand all the way to the left hand. Reaching, reaching, reaching. Pulling that left hip backwards, the lead hip forwards. Nice strong warrior stance. And we'll go through our vinyasa here. So you can cartwheel your hands to the mat, planting them, stepping back into downward facing dog. Do a quick little body scan here. How does your left side feel? Is your heart rate up? Mine is. I'm breathing hard, I'm sure you can hear. We'll take that to the other side. Inhale the right leg to the sky. Exhale, bend the leg, opening that hip up. Draw some nice big circles with that knee going out. And changing directions, going in. And bring your toes to match on the mat. Crawl your hands to your feet for a forward fold. Enjoy this little folding break here before we get to all that balancing stuff. It's amazing how much work like engaging your core is. Like, who would have thought that you'd get a core workout just trying to hold a warrior three. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, gaze forward. Exhale, forward fold. And slowly roll your way up into mountain. The slower the better. Roll your shoulders up and down, away from your ears. Take a couple steps forward to get to the top of your mat. And inhale your hands to the sky. Exhale, sit into your chair pose. Pull those shoulders down away from your ears. Drop your arms down to a T, twist to the right side, gaze back at that right hand. Put your weight into your right foot and float up that left foot, flexing the foot. And then really slowly tipping forward, bringing that left leg behind you. Tips of the left fingers to the mat. Gaze up at the right hand for a revolved moon pose, half moon pose. This pose is way harder than I think it's gonna be. Try to keep that left leg lifted, nice and high. And then again, trying not to touch that left foot to the mat. We're going to lift up, aligning the knees, pointing the toes, bringing our hands to prayer at our heart. For a little kundalini tap. And then again, shifting, tipping forward into warrior three. Arms extended in front of you. Left leg lifted parallel to the mat as high as you can. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tipping back onto that left foot, bringing in the foot parallel. You're going to have a nice little 45-degree angle with your torso. Palms to the sky behind you for a lightning warrior. Keep that core engaged. Keep a bend in that right leg. You're burning, but you're getting stronger. That's what we're working on today, you guys. Strengthening up the body so we can kick ass on the mats and in life. Releasing that lightning warrior, transitioning into warrior 2. Keep the bend in the leg, but of course, if you absolutely need a break, go ahead and straighten that front leg, but I encourage you to stay strong. We're almost done. And cartwheel your hands to the mat. Step back into plank. Go through your chaturanga, inhaling for upward facing dog or cobra. And we're going to exhale into child's pose. Amazing work, you guys. That was the hard part of this flow done, and you crushed it. Take a couple of breaths here. Take a second to give yourself some gratitude. That was hard. My legs are burning. You showed up to the mat today for yourself, to take care of your body, give it some movement, which is very important to live a healthy life. All together, one more deep breath in. And exhale. We're going to roll up, cross the legs underneath you and sit over them, extending your legs out in front of you and rolling one nice slow vertebrae at a time onto your back. Extend your arms and legs, reaching away from each other. Nice big stretch. Interlock your hands. Got your little gun here, little steeple. Bring your toes to the left side of your mat. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, bring that pointer finger to the left side of your mat as well for a supine banana. Release, coming back to center. Toes all the way to the right side of your mat. Inhale. Exhale, bring your fingers to the right side of your mat. And release, coming back to center. Bring your heels up towards your bum and your knees up to your chest, reaching in between your hands to grab onto the outside of your feet or your big toes with 2 fingers. It's up to you. Keep your feet nice and close to your groin for now, just getting that nice little stretch in the inner thighs. And on your next exhale, extend your soles to the sky, pulling your knees into your armpits for happy baby. You can also get a little bit of rocking motion here. Feels really nice. Feels silly, but in the best way. Beautiful. Keep holding on to your feet, but you're going to bring your elbows outside of your knees and bring your legs together. And then straighten your legs as much as you can. If you need to crunch up your upper torso to be able to reach, go ahead and do that. And release your feet to the mat. Extend your legs. Bring your hands down beside your hips. Let your toes fall away from each other. And we're going to keep this pretty short today. So I want you to go back to your breath. Go back to that gratitude. Go back to your intention that you set at the beginning of this flow. And just take a couple minutes of quiet here. If you would like to continue this Shavasana, please feel free to pause this video. But if you are ready to get on with your day, you can blink open your eyes, wiggle your fingers and your toes. And then slowly come into a comfortable seat. That is it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. You crushed it. Did I not tell you it was going to be a burner? If you liked this video, please like and subscribe. I would love to have you in my little dojo. If you want to follow me on social media, I'm on Instagram at dojocat713. That's where I post my jujitsu and kickboxing stuff. And I'm getting better about posting, I swear. You can also reach me by email. It's in the description box below. Please tell me in the comments which one of these poses burned the most for you. For me, definitely that I think it was the transition from the half moon to that Kundalini pose. That was tough for me. I may or may not have edited out me falling out of that on my left side. All right, I will see you guys next time. Go have a wonderful day. Os.